morning, one and all. So today we'll discuss about the CDMA system based on IS-95. This IS-95 is the, as I said, interim standard 95. The name given by Qualcomm, that is Telecom Industry Association. Okay? TIA has standardized this CDMA system as IS-95. So we will be discussing about the forward link, reverse link, and what are its properties. So as I said, before that, let me say a few words about the ADMOD code which we use in the CDMA. So I said the ADMOD code is an error correcting code. Okay, so this name has come because of the scientist Jacques ADMOD, and these codes are used for error detection and correction. Okay, when the message is transmitting over the noisy or unreliable channels. Okay. So in the year 1971, this ADMOD code was used to transmit photos of Mars back to the Earth from the NASA space probe. Okay. So because of its unique mathematical properties, this ADMOD code is also used in other applications like coding theory, mathematics, and even theoretical computer science. So this ADMOD code is also known as, I said, WASH code, WASH family, and WASH ADMOD code. Okay. So in this name has come because of the American mathematician recognition, Joseph Leonard WASH. Okay. So in CDMA communication, the ADMOD code is referred as WASH code and is used to define the individual communication channels. Right? So depending upon how many ADMOD codes are there, I can say so many CDMA communication channels are available in that particular cell. Okay. So ADMOD codes are used to define individual communication channels in CDMA. Okay. In CDMA, so we use usually we refer a word called code word to represent codes. Okay? So each user will use a different code word or code to modulate the signal. Fine. And these, as I said, WASH codes are orthogonal and they exhibit a random property because of it is having a property of autocorrelation property of the white noise, right? So the WASH encoded signal appears as the random noise to the CDMA capable mobile terminal unless that terminal uses the same code word as the one used to encode the incoming signal. Means this particular ADMOD code is used to define the individual communication channels in the CDMA. That is what you are supposed to take out from this. So just to say how the codes are generated, I'm just giving the example. As I said, these are orthogonal codes. So we define the matrix like this. ADMOD matrix we say it is. So H0 is equal to 1, 1, 1, minus 1. Okay. And HK is actually H suffix 2 power K also we say. Or is H suffix 2 power K minus 1 or just HK you can take. HK minus 1, HK minus 1, HK minus 1, minus HK minus 1. So here there are some basic rules to generate this code. Okay, the first one, first two basic rules is W1 is plus 1 and W2N is this form, that is WN, 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 then complement of WN. Means if it is 1, 1, 1, it will be 0 like that. So here 0 we represent by minus 1 and 1 we represent by plus 1 only, right? So because of that it is written C plus 1 and W2 is this plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, minus 1. This is the value of W2 we get. And W4 is the repetition of this only 4 times. Only the last one is the complement of other 3 matrices. See, this is plus 1, plus 1, plus 1, minus 1, right? This is also +1, +1, +1, and -1. And this matrix also +1, +1, +1, -1. Only this matrix is complement of this or this or this, right? Because it is -1, -1, -1, +1. So this is how we generate W1, W2, W4, and so on. So like that, we can generate 64 Hadamard matrix sequences. Okay. So as I said, this Hadamard sequence or Hadamard code or wash code is used to define the individual communication channel in the CDMA. So that much if you are able to take up, and further details you can refer some other books. Okay. So let me take up the IS-95 system. As I said, this direct sequence CDMA, okay, is one of the multiple access technique, okay, used in the digital cellular voice communications in the North America. There are other multiple access techniques also. One is I said the FDMA, and another one is I said TDMA, right? So in case of FDMA, so frequency is divided among the users. In case of TDMA, so time means that is frame, okay, is made among the different users, right? So this is another multiple access technique, whereas at the same time and same frequency, by using different codes, it means the users are differentiated with the code, unique code, right? So that is what the CDMA is, code division multiple access. This particular CDMA system was developed by Qualcomm, so that is the telecom industry in the US. And as I said, the Telecommunications Industry Association, TIA, have standardized this CDMA communication system as the IS-95. Yeah, and it has been used in the frequency band of 800 megahertz and as well as in the 1900 megahertz frequency bands. So compared to other multiple access techniques like FDMA, TDMA and all, so actually FDMA is used in first generation system, and TDMA is used in the 2G standard, okay, that is a GSM, and this CDMA is also started in 2G, okay, and here the frequency reuse factor will be 1 in case of CDMA. Means this frequency reuse factor means how do we allocate the frequencies in particular cell, okay. So in case of CDMA, in every cell I can use the same frequencies, so there will be no interferences. In case of GSM, we need to plan. So depending upon the cluster size, so we need to repeat the frequency allocation. But it is not like that in case of CDMA. In every cell, I can use the same frequencies. That is what the meaning of frequency reuse factor is 1. So here the transmission bandwidth, okay, used is 1.25 megahertz. That is from base station to the mobile receiver. That we call it as forward link or downlink, okay, and as well as from mobile receiver to the base station, that we call reverse link, or we say uplink, okay. For each link, the bandwidth used is 1.25 megahertz. But in case of CDMA, the bandwidth used was 200 kilohertz. That is the difference. Okay. So here, as I said, the bandwidth used in the uplink and as well as downlink is 1.25 megahertz, and they are separate channels. Okay. In this case, as I said, the direct sequence CDMA, sorry, the forward link and the reverse link are direct sequence spectrum signals, and the spreading rate, or we say chip rate, right, will be 1.2288 into 10 power 6 chips per second. That is 1.2288 mega chips per second is the chip rate of that particular channel. Okay. So I hope this is just a brief introduction about IS-95. So what to know is this has been developed by the Qualcomm, and it has been standardized and designated as IS-95 by the Telecommunication Industry Association, and it has been used in the 800 megahertz and 1900 megahertz frequency bands, right? So the major advantage of this system over other multiple access technique is, in this case, the entire frequency band is available at each base station. Means the frequency reuse factor is 1. I said the bandwidth used for transmission in the uplink and downlink, or we say reverse link and forward link. So forward link is what? From base station to the mobile station or mobile receivers. Forward link or downlink, that is same. Then from mobile receivers or mobile users to the base station is the uplink, or we say reverse link. The channel bandwidth used is 1.25 megahertz. Okay. Yeah, this is just to show about the forward link and reverse link. Okay. So this is the base station and this is the mobile station. As I said, signal transmitted from base station to the mobile station is known as forward link. The signal transmitted from mobile station to the base station is a reverse link. Okay. The downlink, and this is the uplink we said. Yes, 37 people have joined. Okay. 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 Is it clear about what is downlink and what is uplink in CDMA? So downlink is what? It is the link from base station to the mobile station. Okay. And from mobile station to base station, we call it as uplink or reverse link. So let me discuss about what is the forward link and what type of processing methods are used for transmitting the information from base station to the mobile station. So I will come to this slide now. Yeah, I think, is it visible? Yeah, this block diagram is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is the block diagram of IS-95 forward link. So, see the speech, what we speak, right? So that will be analog in nature, right? The voice signal. That will be converted, this speech signal will be converted into digital one by using speech coders. Okay, there are variety of speech coders. So depending upon the speech activity, so it is possible to get a different rates. Okay, so one is here I have written, the variable rates are there. So one is 9.6 kbps, means 9600 bits per second. Then another one is 4800 bits per second. Next one is 2400 bits per second. And next one is 1200 bits per second. So these are the four different rates which we obtain from the speech coder. Okay. The type of speech coder used here is CELP, we say. That is code excited linear block code. Sorry, code excited linear predictive coding, CELP. That's what it is. CELP is the speech coder that generates variable data rate of what? 9600, 4800, 2400 and 1200 bits per second. I said that is based on the speech activity. And here the speech frame is considered for 20 milliseconds. Means this voice signal is fragmented into 20 millisecond frames that will be used for converting into these variable rates. Okay, that is what the meaning is. So that will be means that variable speech from the CLP, that is a speech coder, is given as an input to the encoder. Okay, first we do the encoding, right? The first step is encoding. So here the type of encoder used is the convolutional encoder. Okay, so I have studied about this convolutional encoder in the last semester. Hello, I'm asking you people only. Have you studied about this convolutional encoder in the ITC?
Yes, sir.
You studied about convolutional encoder. You have any idea about what is convolutional encoder and all?
The flip-flops and that circuit diagram, sir.
Using
You have any
adders and
idea?
flip-flops.
Sir?
Huh? Do you have any idea about?
Sir, we have those flip-flops. Flip-flops we have, sir, and adder circuits.
Okay. So my voice is audible.
So we send an in. Sir?
Yeah. Not audible?
So we have yes, sir.
You have some idea about convolutional coding, na? You have idea or not?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. See, the incoming information signal, that is voice, has been converted by using speech coders. I said that the type of speech coder used is CELP. Okay, it provides the data rate of how much? 9.6 kbps, 4.8 kbps, 2.4 kbps, and 1.2 kbps. So these are the different coding rates from the speech coder. That depends on the speech activity. Okay, I said here the frame duration used is 20 milliseconds for speech processing. Okay, the entire speech signal is divided into 20 millisecond frame size that will be processed. Okay, there is a technique for doing that. So output of that speech coder, especially from CLP, is this here: 9600 bits per second, 4800 bits per second, 2400 bits per second, and 1200 bits per second. That will be given, this variable code rate will be given to the convolutional encoder. So here, this convolutional encoder with a code rate of 1/2 is used. Okay, so what do you mean by a coding rate? Any idea? Here I said coding rate is 1/2. Can anyone answer? Coding rate is 1/2 means what? Yes, what do you understand by this coding rate? If I say coding rate is 1/2, what is your understanding about that? See, if I give 1 bit input, I get 2
half bits per second.
If I give 1 bit as the input, I get 2 bits as the output. Okay, that is what the meaning of coding rate. Okay, and here code constant length will be equal to 9. Okay, so this convolutional encoder will do that. See, I said data is encoded by a convolutional encoder with a coding rate of 1/2 and the constant length of 9. Okay. See, as I said, based on the speech activity, right? Output of the speech coder is this, right? So, since I'm getting variable rate, I need to maintain a constant rate, right? So, for these lower rates, means 4800, 2400, and 1200, has to be made it to 9600, okay, as the constant bit rate. So, for doing that, what I do is here in the convolutional encoding, right? So, I repeat that, means the lower speech activity of this 4800, 2400 or 1200 bits, that is the output symbols from the convolutional encoder, are separated either twice. Means if I do twice, it becomes, means this 4800. Twice if I do, it becomes 9600. 2400, I need to repeat how many times to get 9600? 4 times, right? And 1200,
Four.
8 times. If I repeat 8 times, then I get 9600 is the bit rate, right? So that I can maintain the constant bit rate of 9600 bits per second. So that is what is done here. Okay, the output of this one. Then output of that convolutional encoder will be given to the block interleaver. Okay. So this block interleaver. So I heard about interleaving. What do you mean by interleaving? Interleaving. Any idea? No idea about interleaving? Yes?
No, sir.
So take on the 10 digit number. Okay. You think that each bit is for one user. So 10 users are there. Okay. So I can make their information interleaving, means like one bit of user one. Okay. Let us assume that each user is having an information of 10 bits. Okay. Like that 10 users are there. So in a frame structure, what we do is, say a few bits of user one will be taken. Then few bits of user 2, then few bits of user 3, like that. Okay, out of 10 bits, say I can take 2 bits from each user. Then again it is repeated. So that is what meaning of interleaving. So here block interleaving is used. Okay, in this case, this block interleaving, the purpose of this is to minimize the burst error. See, here we transmit information in terms of frames. Okay, in one frame, especially in GSM, one frame have 8 time slots. Means it can accommodate 8 users simultaneously. Okay, each user information will be is no, means that I said 8 time slots. No, that 8 time slots are known as 8 bursts. Okay, so there will be interference among the bursts. To avoid that interference or minimize that interference, we do the block interleaving. Okay, that is the purpose of that block interleaving. So let's see, block interleaver is used to overcome the effects of burst errors that may occur during the transmission through the channel. So after that, there will be scrambling of the data encryption. Okay. So scrambler means is used for data encryption that makes the user call more secure. So scrambling means randomizing the information bits. Okay. So as I said, scrambler will randomize the data and prevent the transition of long series of ones and zeros. Okay. So this block interleaver data rate, it means the output of the block interleaver will be 19.2 kbps. Okay, are scrambled by the multiplication with the long code with the chip rate of 1.2288 megachips per second. Okay, fine, and is decimated by a factor of 64 to get this chip rate 19.2 kilochips per second. So that I will show here. This is the long code. Means if I want to mask each user, it means I'm doing randomization. That is to do the scrambling. So I use a long code generator. Means it is pseudonymous code only, right? That will be decimated with that decimation value I said. So here I am getting 1.2288 megachips per second. So output of that will be 19.2 kilobits per second. Right? By doing decimation, I will be able to get this rate. So your output of the block interleaver is also 19.2 kbps. So those two will be multiplied. So means symbol by symbol scrambling will be done. Then it is transmitted over the channel. So at the channel, so what we are doing is we are using the wash codes, okay, of length 32 or 64. for each user data, means this wash code only can differentiate the different users, that is channels. Okay. Then output of that means along with this user channel, so there are other channels also like pilot channel, synchronization channel, paging channel. So these are the channel used for different purposes. Means pilot channel will take care of the synchronization of the users between transmitter and the receiver and other things. Okay, so I will come back to that. So I think see here the long code I told about this, right? The long code is used to identify the call of the mobile station and the forward and the reverse links. Okay, right? The long code is used to identify a call of a mobile station on the forward and the reverse link. The HUD or wash code sequence of length 64 is assigned to each channel, I said. Right? So the 64 orthogonal sequences are assigned to each base station. Means, as I said, the HUD sequence will tell you the number of channels in the system, right? So since it is 64, so I have 64 channels. So one channel is used to transmit pilot signal. Why the purpose of the pilot signal is to measure the channel characteristics. So what are the channel characteristics? We can say it will measure the signal strength and what is the carrier phase offset and etc. Okay, so that is the purpose of the pilot signal. Then another channel, that is synchronization channel, is there, right? That synchronization channel is used for time synchronization between the users, right? And another channel is the paging channel. So that is used for paging activities. So here three channels are used for that. One is pilot, another one is synchronization, another one is paging. So out of 64, 3 have gone, right? Remaining 61 channels are used for the users. I hope is it clear? Because I said wash code with 64 different channels are used. Out of 64, 3 used for what? One is used for pilot. The purpose of this pilot is what? To measure the channel characteristics. Okay. And next channel is synchronization channel, that is used for time synchronization. And next is the paging channel. Okay. So these 3 channels will be out of 64 used as a control channels, what we can say. Remaining 61 will be allotted to the users. So in every base station, I can say it can accommodate 60 users. Okay. So after wash coding, okay, it will be splitted into 2 channels, in-phase channel and the quadrature channel. Okay. Here we use the pseudo-noise code for this in-phase channel and quadrature phase channel with what rate? With 1.2288 megachips per second. Okay. Then output of that will be given to the baseband filter. Okay. Then I use the IQ mixer. Means this part I think you are aware, right? The carrier with this minus 90 degree phase shift or plus 90 degrees, that is Hilbert transform, right? So output of that will be clubbed and will be sent as a CDMA output. Okay. So here what I wanted to say is, each user data is multiplied by the HUD sequence, right? The resulting sequence is the what is separated by 2 pseudo-noise sequences, right? One in phase and another one in the quadrature phase. And the length of the pseudo-noise sequence will be 2 power 15. Okay. Right. So the different base stations are identified by different offset of these pseudo-noise sequences. As I said, the frequency reduce factor is 1, right? So how the system identifies is in different base stations, that is identified by the offset of these pseudo-noise sequences. So the signals for all the 64 channels are transmitted synchronously. So in case of in the absence of channel multipath distortion, right? Because in wireless, the channel can travel in multiple paths, right? That is what the multipath distortion, it undergoes a distortion, right? Because in between transmitter and the receiver, there are various obstructions will be there, like buildings will be there, trees will be there, hills will be there. So that leads to distortion that we have already discussed, right? That is the delay spread and other things. So because of this, in the absence of multiple disruption, what I said, these 64 channels are transmitted simultaneously or synchronously. Other signals received at the mobile receiver will not interfere with other signal because of the orthogonality of these odd mode sequences. Okay. So this is all about the forward link of the IS-95 system. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in this block diagram. So there will be a one question on this. Two things are there. One is forward link and reverse link. So if you understand this block diagram, so this is at the base station. Whatever the block diagram I have discussed here, this is used at the base station. Okay. So another one will be used at the mobile receiver that is slightly different than this. Okay. So if you have any questions, you can ask me about this. I said, yeah. Do you have any doubts regarding this? Because so much stuff is involved in this as a block diagram. So as an overview, what you are supposed to understand is the voice which will be converted by using a speech coder with a variable data rate that depends on the speech activity, right? The speech is fragmented with a 20 millisecond duration, right? We are using a CELP, that is code excited linear prediction or linear predictor is the type of speech coder used that will generate this 9600 bits per second, 4800 bits per second, 2400 bits per second, and 1200 bits per second as the rate from the speech coder, right? Then output of that speech coder is given to the convolutional encoder with a coding rate of what? 1/2. Means I said for one input bit, I get 2 as the output bits. The purpose of this convolutional encoder is it is basically what error correcting and a detection code it is, right? Channel coding technique it is with a constant coding constant of 9, right? So output of this convolutional encoder will be how much? It is 19.2 kbps, right? That will be block interleaved, means that is given to the block interleaver. I said that the purpose of this block interleaver is to minimize or avoid the burst errors. Okay, and then that is scrambled with the long code generator, means each user is masked. Okay, by using a long code generator. These are just pseudonymous code only. So by using decimation, means this is a long code is nothing but a bold sequence what we can think. Okay, so that I get 19.2 kbps. Those two are multiplied and scrambled, right? Then again it is multiplied by the wash code that will differentiate the channel. Okay, of 64 wash codes are there. In that I said 3 are used for control channels. One is pilot, next one is synchronization, next one is a paging channel. As I said, pilot channel is used to measure the channel characteristics, right? And the synchronization channel is used for time synchronization, and paging channel is used to page the users, okay, mobile users. Then output of that will be separated. Okay, means each user I said is multiplied by the wash code or Hadamard sequence. Then the resulting sequence is separated into two pseudo-noise sequences. That is, one is in phase and another one is quadrature phase. So the length of this in phase and quadrature phase pseudo-noise sequence will be 2 power 15. Okay, so imagine 2 power 50 is how much? Any idea? Then that will be passed through the baseband filters. Okay, these are the baseband shaping filters. It will then it is applied to the IQ this mixer. Okay, then I get the CDMA output. Yes, sir. Any doubts? I go to the next one. So in this only just I'm throwing some light on the convolutional encoder. So these are the different possible rates I said: 9600, 4800, 2400, 1200. I'm using 9 element shift register with different combinations feedback. right? I do the XOR operation, then I get two output bits, G0 and G1. So this is the output of the convolutional encoder with a coding rate of 1/2. Okay. Okay, so for one input, I get two out bit as the output bits. Okay, so then let me take up the reverse link. So this reverse link means this reverse link modulator is slightly different from the downlink modulator, because this is used in the mobile user, right? So obviously, as we all know, the mobile is a battery operated device, right? The type of modulation used and passing techniques has to consume less power. So and cost also should be less, right? Cost of the mobile equipment. Keeping all those things in mind, so the system is designed, right? As I said, the reverse link modulator from a mobile transmitter to a base station is different from the forward link modulator. Whatever I have discussed so far is about forward link, right? So this is about the reverse link. So here the important design consideration in the modulator is that because from the mobile user to the base station means multiple users will be transmitting the signal asynchronously, right? That will be received at the base station. So here there will be a chance of more interference among the users, right? So that design has to be taken care into while designing the system. So the mobile transmitters, as I said, they are battery operated. So means there is a limitation on the amount of power it can use it, right? Means I need to get a battery life for a longer period of hours. So that keeping that in mind, I need to design a system. Okay, so let us see. So here, what is done here? Here also see same thing. First, this is speech is converted by using the speech coder with this variable rate. So here, the type of convolutional encoder with coding rate is different. So there, the coding rate was 1/2. Okay. In this case, in the reverse link, the coding rate is 1/3. That is the difference. Okay. So why it is 1/3 means the coding rate 1/3 means for every one bit I get 3 bits as output, right? So in case, so with that coding gain will increase. That is the purpose. Okay. So I am using a convolutional encoder with a coding rate of 1/3. Okay. Then output of that is given to the block interleaver. So output of the block interleaver I get, I said already, the purpose of block interleaver is to minimize the burst error, right? So output of block interleaver, I'm getting as a 28.8 kilobits per second, right? So here, output of the block interleaver is given to the 64 array orthogonal modulator. Means I'm using 64 QAM here as the modulation technique. So then output of that is scrambled with the long code generator, right? So here the difference in no decimation is done. Okay, in the forward link there was a decimation block, right? Here there is no decimation. See, the code will be masked, right? The long using this long code generator with a data rate of how much 1.2 to 88 mega chips per second. That will be multiplied with the output of this modulated signal, right? So then it will be differentiated into two sequences, in phase and quadrature phase. Two sequences. Here the code rate is 1.228 megachips per second. Then the rest of the things are same. That is baseband filtering, then mixer, that is IQ modulation. You get the CDMA output. Okay. So this is what the difference is here. So the thing is in the in-phase path is directly fed. In the quadrature path, there is a chip delay. Okay, how much it is? Half chip delay is used. Okay, that is I said we can say it is offsetting the in-phase path with the quadrature path. Okay, so this is what the difference compared to the forward link. So first one is the conventional encoder with coding rate 1/3 is used, right? Then here the long code generator, no decimation here, and this in phase and quadrature path. So the quadrature path there is a delay of how much? 1/2 chip delay. Then baseband filter and other things are same. So that is what is discussed here. So I said a coding rate of 1/3 with constant length of 9 is used, right? Okay, the coded bit rate will be 28.8 kbps. How do we get that? Is I said for each 20 millisecond frame from the speech, I get so many encoded bits. 576 is the encoded bits. They are block interleaved and passed to the modulator. That is 64 QAM, right? So the data is modulated using 64 QAM signal set. So here 64 means 2 power 6, right? So 2 power 6 is 64. So a 6-bit block of data is mapped into one of that 64 Hadamard sequence, right? As I said in the channels are differentiated with the Hadamard sequence, right? So 6-bit block of data which is modulated from 64 QAM, right, is mapped onto one of the 64 Hadamard sequence. So that results a bit rate of how much? T07.8 kilobits per second. How do I get that? Is 64 by 6 into 28.8. See, this 28.8 is the output of the block interleaver, right? So output of that, I said, is 307.8. So that much is done here. Okay. So 64 orthogonal modulation using the same wash function in the forward link. So here we are in the reverse link connected to the forward link used for orthogonal data modulation. So here what I said, one wash function or Hadamard sequence is transmitted for 6 coded bits. 6 coded bits. So the modulated symbol rate will be 28.8 kbps into 64 chips for 6 code bits. That will give you this one, 307.2 or 8 kcps, right? Kilo chips per second it is. So to reduce interference to the other users, the time position of the transmitted code symbol repetition is randomized. Okay, the main purpose is that. So here at the lower speech rate activity, right, means at 4,800, then 2,400 and 1,200. That is the lower speech activity data rate I get from the speech coder. So those bursts are not evenly spaced in time. Okay, the signal is spread by the output of the long code pseudonoise generator, so which is running at this rate, that is 1.2288 megachips per second. Okay, so because of that, there are only 4 pseudonoise chips per every bit of the Hadamard sequence from the modulator. So the processing gain in the reverse link is slightly smaller only. So that results of this chip rate, that is 1.2288 megachips per second binary sequence of length, I said 2 power 15. Okay. And that will be separated into what? 2 signals, I and Q signals, right? And then they are separated, means filtered by using a baseband spectral shaping filters and passed on to the quadrature mixers. And the difference is what I said in the Q channel signal. The Q channel signal is delayed by a time of half pseudonoise chip compared to the in-phase channel. Okay. So signal at the output of the 2 baseband filters is basically an offset QPSK signal, we say. Okay. So that is what about this reverse link. Oh, is it clear? Yeah, it is. Since I am talking about the entire system, so many things will be there. So as an overview, I can say you can just understand what the function of each block and what is the data rate of each block. Okay. So just to say the specifications in summary, I said the uplink frequency band is this. I said the 800 megahertz and 1900 megahertz. Those are the two frequency bands used for this IS-95, right? So in the uplink frequency, it is your 824 to 849. Okay, means 25 megahertz is the how much frequency it is? 25 megahertz, right? Uplink frequency band. Even downlink frequency band 69 to 94. Okay, 869 to 894. So the number of carriers per band will be 20. Bandwidth per carrier, I said it is 1.25 megahertz. Right? So number of users per carrier is 60, and this is the chip rate. Speech coder, I said variable rate and CLP. So these are the different code rates which I obtained. And type of block interleaver is the block. Channel encoder, I said for the downlink, it is coding rate is 1/2 with a constant length of 9. And for uplink, coding rate is 1/3 with a constant length of 9. Right? Type of modulation. So for the downlink, it is BPSK with QPSK spreading, and for uplink, 64 with QPSK spreading. Okay, and we can actually rake receiver. So I have not yet discussed about the rake receiver. I will come back. That is there in the module 4. Okay, and what is maximum ratio combining? Also, you will understand during that time. Then signature sequence is nothing but the sequence which we use in the channel to differentiate different users, right? That is the Hadmor sequence, and these pseudonoise sequences that is used as what one is long code, the spreading code. So that is 2 power 15 in the in-phase and quadrature, right? And this long code of length, this much 2 power 42 minus 1. This is just the system parameter what I have discussed about IS-95. So with this, I can say this module is completed. So if you have any doubts, difficulties, you can ask me. So from my side, my time is over. Yes, now it is the time for you to ask questions about this IS-95 system, about uplink and as well as downlink or forward link, reverse link. I discussed about various blocks and what is the difference. No questions, Vishnu?
So like this is only the base for the current communication system, no, sir?
Pardon?
Like this is a fundamental for current communication system or something, sir?
Yeah. This is the
Or
fundamental
is the technology changed?
blocks. Yeah, CDMA system. That is a CDMA. That is IS-95 is the one standard. Na? In that, what is the different? This one used in the power link and reverse link. I have discussed it. Just few blocks means forward link and reverse link blocks. Well, I think you will understand the entire process, right? Starting from user speech to how I get CDMA output. That is what discussed there.
Like, is the current technology only being like? Is this the same technology even now, or is it different, sir?
Now it is present. It is CDMA, not it is CDMA. No, it is LTE, 4G, right? LTE advanced. So
Yeah.
it is not. It is not. It is not using this CDMA there.
Like the technique is totally different, sir.
Yeah, it is different only.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Because it is only basically it is what I have discussed. IS-95 is only for voice, not for data. Okay. So
Okay,
this system LTE, that is VoLTE, right? 4G supports voice as well as data with a different data rate, right? So voice will be support means it is entirely packet network. It is now IP based. It is 4G.
Okay, sir.
Yeah, this is very basic what I discussed. Yes. Any other questions? Yeah, in a nutshell, what I wanted to conclude is, so please have a look about power link block diagram and reverse link block diagram. Out of those two, definitely there will be one question in the exam. That much I can assure you. Okay. And you should be able to identify what difference is in the diagram from power link to the reverse link. Okay. So the major difference is what? Compared to the, in the reverse link compared to the power link. One is the conventional coding rate. I said it is 1/3, right? Then the difference is at the pseudo-noise sequence separation, that in channel and quadrature channel. So there in the quadrature channel, there is a chip delay, off chip delay, right? That is the difference. And as I said, reverse link, because it is basically the battery operated device. So we need to think of a system which can consume less power, right? So hence the type of modulation used or opted used is 64 parameters. So then no issues, no questions from others. Others are active. Madhura,
Yes, sir.
could understand. Vandana,
Yes, sir.
Vandana is there. Vandana,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Could you understand what I said today about power link and reverse link
Yes,
of
sir.
device system? Okay, then if you have, if you don't have any questions, let me close the session. So I think I may share a few questions, objective type. Okay, you can attempt that in the before Monday. Fine.
Yes, sir.
Fine then. See you on Monday. Hmm?